Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Maria. I am the founder of Ledger Life Solutions and Ledger Academy, and I'm very excited to share with you now a little bit of this project. Ledger Academy is not simply a language school. Ledger Academy is a full career international ecosystem. What we have here and what we want to do is empower foreign professionals to work in the US and around the world. And we also have a franchise opportunity and a sponsorship. What is the problem? The problem is, let's talk about Brazil, where I'm from, and when we started with Academy. So in Brazil itself, according to the chart, you see that 5% of Brazilians only speak fluent English. So what does it do? It limits people in access to US and international job opportunities. So it also stops them to getting courses and learning or coming to study in universities here in the United States, as they are not going to be able to pass TOEFL and other courses and certification that they need to get. That means that 95% of the people that are in that chart and have limitations, they do not have access to international careers and development. English-speaking countries with 2/3 of workforce have no English language skill gaps. So we're going to work on the countries that do. Okay. Traditional language schools typically offer what? No job placement, no immigration support, and no training. And that's where we come. The solution that we offer, Ledger Academy offers intensive training courses, workforce integration with the US and other countries. So we are going to have the jobs for them too. Housing and relocating support, immigration guidance, and direct job placement pipeline with U.S. employments and all over the world placements with employers. So our business model, we operate in Brazil. We already have Ledger Academy based in Brazil, in São Paulo. We offer the training for them. What we offer is business English only. And that business English is focused on job interviews, on their area of expertise. So let's say they're an architect or they're an engineer. So what we do, we train their language, focus on that. It's only what they need. Of course, they're going to get all the other languages needs that they may need. But that is going to be the main focus. And then now we're creating a franchise development. So what we want to do is we want to bring Ledger Academy to the United States. So have a base here. So the way we work is what we offer. First of all, no competitors, because we're a full start to finish solution. There's no competitors for us in the market. We have Ledger Life Solutions. Ledger Life Solutions is the first company I opened in 2022. And Ledger Life Solutions offer translators. Ledger Life Solutions offers immigration. Ledger Life Solutions offers civil. Anything they may need, Ledger Life Solutions has. Focus with Ledger Brazil, which is the branch that we opened there next to Ledger Academy. And Ledger HR Management, that is brand new, that will have the job opportunities for these people to go not only here, but all over the world when they want to work. And we're going to have the employers with us. This is a unique ecosystem with a proven visa experience. We have been in the market. We offer a mutual training where the U.S. citizens can train abroad and foreigners can come to the U.S. and train here. So let's say someone in Italy wants to learn English and go to a school, or they want to get a job here that they already talked to them, they want to hire them, but they don't have the skills. So then they're going to be trained and they're going to be in real life. So what we have, it's all inclusive structure. So that includes training, includes food, includes touristic experiences, and everything, and even the accommodations. The structure that we have in Brazil is a house with rooms. So if you want to go to Brazil and learn Portuguese, you're going to go for one of our immersion programs. You're going to say, okay, what is the fear that people have of going abroad and studying? What am I going to find? It can be dangerous. What if I don't know anything? What if I suddenly go to Japan and I don't know what I'm doing? So what you do, you go to a place, you stay in a house, you have the accommodations, and it's all inclusive. You're going to have full breakfast. You're going to have food included. So we're going to have a kitchen. We're going to have lunch, dinner. They don't need to go. And at the weekends, we're going to have local people like we have in Brazil. We're going to have local people take you on a tour. It is summer, you can go to one of our local beaches. If it's not summer, you can go to a touristic bus ride with a dinner, champagne in a bus, visiting the 70 touristic points in São Paulo. So we have all this structure already in place working. So then any parent have a 16-year-old who wants to go abroad, he's not going to let him because it's dangerous. But if we have a US-based structure there, he's going to trust. She can go to Italy, she can go anywhere. He's going to say, okay, she's going to be fine there. Our main goal is liability. We don't want anything wrong happening, so we're going to safe places, and we're going to have the whole structure in place, like we have right now. So who doesn't want to study in the US, the Mickey Mouse land? Anyone, right? So we have a US base here. So we're going to work with underprepared workforce. So we're talking about Brazil because where it started, boasted a large pool of talented professionals who lack the necessary English proficiency, and this gap presents a significant opportunity for tailored training programs. The target market is going to be 20 to 25 to 45-year-old students, professionals, trades. Also, we can get in the market sometimes for some countries like Brazil, people that are 50 or over 50, they're just like don't have opportunities in the market anymore. They can't be there because they're too close to retirement. So then these people, we can work on them because some countries don't have that strict line. So this is where we come in. Low competition. The current market for job-focused ESL programs is underdeveloped, which allows Ledger Academy to establish a long journey for us to go on our path. The franchise format. So I'm talking about Brazil, right now, but we are going to convert all these numbers to the US and anywhere. They're going to change. If I'm opening a franchise in Italy, if I'm opening a franchise in the US, those numbers are going to change. It depends. If we're going to West Palm, is going to be one number. If we're going to Orlando, it's going to be another number. If we're going to Ocala, it's going to be a different number. So financial projection, 90 students can get about 1.7 million a year in revenue for Brazil, for accommodations, study, course, and food, and everything and all inclusive. That's in reais, okay? That's divided by 5, that's pretty much what it's gonna be. Investment in Brazil, we asked 250,000 reais for a franchise in there, which is about 50K. Always divided by 5. Investors, return of investment is about 500,000 within 24 to 36 months. Each country is different. So the multiplication model. So what are we talking about here? The multiplication model. So we have this structure here in the US, right? And we have someone in Italy who says, oh, I like that. So then they're going to say, okay, we're going to have another Ledger Academy in Italy. And in Italy, they're going to have the whole structure, sleep, everything. People want to learn Italian, they go there. Once they come, once they stay there for 1 year, this is this is a possibility. They stay there for 1 year. They want to open another franchise in the U.S. or anywhere. If they come to the U.S., our immigration department, if they have the qualifications, they have the degree, they have the knowledge, they can qualify to come and stay and open a new branch and stay on a visa here in the U.S. with an L1 visa. They can come and work in the U.S. Anyone would want that. So then this is just multiplication model. Come from here, stay 1 year, come back to the U.S., open in another country, open another branch, and open another branch. This is anyone would want to do that. And this is it. All right, this we have here Aline, which is our pedagogical coordinator. And this is me. So we have Ledger Brazil, Academy, Ledger Life Solutions, and the brand new HR management. I'm open to questions. So what do we want? I have already an offer of $100,000 from an investor from Dubai, but he is asking me for a bond or security, something that I could not find who is that or where to get it. I already looked for it. I think it's something that they said the London bank would do. It must be something that usually international people do abroad. So then if anyone can help me with that, figuring out what it is and how I can get that, I will be able to get that $100,000 investment for Academy. And then if anyone has any other, expertise or investors. So
Yes.
we're looking for investors, someone
Partners.
who believe in our work and wants to start, the brand new academy here to start the multiplication process.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very good. I'll introduce you to somebody on the bonds.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, questions?
Yeah, the most interesting thing I see here is the visa situation. What kind of visas do they get? And are they allowed to work in this country depending upon their backgrounds?
The L1.
Or do they have to go back?
The L1. The L1 is for a main professional that comes from another country to open a new business here or to open a branch. So this is what it does. He's going to be on this L1 visa for depends on the L1 that he's going to get A or B. He's going to be able to stay up to 5 or up to 7 years. He can renew that visa. He can work here. He comes, he stays, but he's going to work on that and provide jobs for Americans too. So there's always the requirements. If he is qualified for, he has a degree, he has qualifications, so he can be in 2 years about, a year to 2 years, he can even apply for adjustment of status and get a green card here. If he has qualifications like, college degree and things like that.
Yeah, the person definitely has to have the skills, and the main purpose is to come here and improve American society wherever they are, either creating jobs, improving that community where they are.
Okay. So you mentioned that there aren't any other organizations that are providing the services that you're providing? Is that what you said?
The only thing we have, we did a study, the only company that as of right now offers is Berlitz. Berlitz offers for people but not the full ecosystem.
Sure.
It's not integrated. They train professionals. Yes, they do train professionals, but that's all.
And usually it's language-wise training.
That's all.
So-
that's all they do.
So on a competition front, though, other companies doing it is only a subset of your competition.
Right.
Your full competition is what are people doing now? And so that's your biggest barrier to entry. So what would that be?
What people are doing now? Mm-hmm. What they're doing now, like they study. So for my background, I was an ESL teacher in Brazil since 1992. And before I moved to the US in about 2003, I had already established as a professional teaching in company, business English in company for Motorola, Nokia, HSM, you name it. So what people do, they go to those schools. But the problem with other countries is quality. So they tend to pay low to the teachers so they can charge less. So there's a lot of language schools. So the quality is bad. So even though, and the way the languages at school, they work in their system, and I understand because it's a business. So they create a program where you are supposed to, okay, basic 1, basic 2, basic 3, you stay with me a year and a half. Then basic 4, then intermediate, pre-intermediate, and then there you go 10 years with them. And at the end of the day, you don't even pass on an interview. You don't have fluency.
Or you come, or you go and, get accepted. Let's say you come to the US, you have a job, but on a daily basis, you will meet challenges that you will not be able to meet because you didn't have like a preparation, real life-based preparation.
Yeah. So
And then
then,
you have to come back, or things don't work out.
yeah. So then that's pretty much it. So then what these schools do, they are not ready, prepared for that, especially in their field of expertise. So.
So I definitely see that. I also see, because we've been meeting quite a few Brazilian people that have come to the U.S. by bootstrapping, right? So they spent 10, 15 years, already had fluent English, then had to save the money, then had to navigate the visa system, all of those things. So I definitely see the need there, as opposed to trying to DIY, do it yourself, is kind of the opposite of this, right?
That's what they do.
I was curious about because you talked about the L1 visa and starting a business. What are the requirements for that? Is there like a minimum investment for people coming over? What does that normally look like? Or could they just become like a
Well,
consulting entrepreneur, for example?
For the L1 visa itself, you don't need a minimum, but you need to have some money. It's not like you're investing like on a gold visa that Trump created, that it's like $5 million, or a EB5 that we're talking about $800,000 that a person needs to have to invest here in the United States. The L1 is an exchange of professional. So then what it has, the person has to have a business locally in their country, and then after that, and based somewhere here, and they're going to open a new business, they can come and open a new business there.
Okay.
So as he has the connection. So he needs to stay at least 1 year as the head is in a position like a director. But if he's the owner of the franchise, he's going to be as a director. So he's going to have that. So then once he has that, he can come to the U.S. If he has qualifications and everything works, and USCIS figures out, okay, you're doing money, you're making money here, you have the amount of people here, so then they're allowed, depends on the revenue and everything, they're allowed to apply for adjustment of status. So this is only one of the easiest visas, the easiest pathway to adjustment of status here professionally.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've worked a lot with L1, L2, H1.
I cannot hear.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, I've worked a lot with L1, L2, and H1 visas. Okay, you may want to double check the L1 requirements because L1 is a managerial visa, and you're not allowed to open up a business underneath that. It's my understanding. And then you're saying we can do adjustment of status. You can always do adjustment of status, but to another, another visa type. And then for L1, you also need sponsorship. So who's going to sponsor that person coming into on an L1 visa? It's a cautious thing.
The franchise in the U.S.
So you guys are going to sponsor.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are going to be sponsoring them and bring
Right,
them on as
because
a
he's
manager.
opening a franchise over
Right.
there based on the U.S. U.S.
So-
is going to be
Okay,
it.
so this is what was not clear. So you're basically sponsoring somebody who's already working for you as a franchisee in a different country, and then you're sponsoring them to come into the U.S. as a manager now.
Multiply the business.
To multiply the business. Okay, so that's the story I was not getting, right? So I think that was a little unclear to me. And then other thing is you should also look into a J1 visa. That's another visa that you can look into that could be applicable to you. So you may want to look into that.
Which one is that?
J1.
J1? Okay.
Yeah. So
Oh, J1, okay.
yeah.
All right, so kind of just two quick questions here.
Okay.
Number one, how much does it cost somebody to go through your program? And then question number two, how many successful candidates have you had go through your program?
From Brazil?
Any,
From
sure.
Brazil, yeah, we're relatively new in Brazil, so then we don't have a lot, but we have students. She is a pedagogical coordinator. We have students that they're learning business directed to their field of expertise. But as of right now, they have jobs. They're not in the system to come here. They're not planning on that. Planning in the future, maybe, after they develop, they have everything. So we started in May. We opened in May. So of this year, yes, the academy in Brazil.
So
Cost for?
how much are they paying you to be in the program?
Okay, I have all the numbers here.
It depends on time.
That's fine. That's fine.
I have it all.
I love lots.
Okay, that's okay.
My question is, what category or what sector are you trying to focus on? Because, I mean, saying professionals coming from other countries, there's a wide variety. So then how would you structure your approach to educating them on, call it the business language that they need for their sector versus other ones?
Well,
Our
our
professionals, we have professionals, right, that will teach them directly to what they need: engineering, health, education.
especially nurses.
We have
remote or are they in person?
remote for now. Now we are using remote.
They can be remote if they're there and we're here.
Yes.
But if they want someone local, let's say we have a local Italian teacher over there in São Paulo. So if the person wants to go in person, they can go in person because we have the structure. And the structure of our building is exactly because if the people from here, we haven't explored this a lot. We haven't even put like ads or anything about this. But if someone from Europe or from the United States wants to go for an immersion program in Brazil, they can. So they can stay there, but we haven't advertised about it yet.
And
So
we are starting with the most need positions and fields: engineering, health.
yes,
Nurses, usually learning
Yeah.
practitioners, nurse practitioners, and mostly right now.
yeah. Yes, yes.
You take in consideration all the immigration changes that happen.
Yes, we have lawyers. We have lawyers. I'm not a lawyer. I'm still a student, but we have two lawyers. Yes, with us.
Just 30 immigrants that were just close to be sworn in yesterday, but they didn't get sworn in because they were on the blacklist of countries. So
That's,
you have to be very careful. It's all depends on the guy who
Absolutely.
example.
Oh yeah,
that's
no.
why we are.
Yes.
What we are doing here, we are creating a safe pathway and legal, of course, legal pathway
Yes.
to help.
Legal doesn't mean it's legal tomorrow anymore.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
This sounds beautiful what you have here, all those slides, gorgeous.
Right.
But la realidad is otra.
Mm-hmm.
You have me?
Yes.
Okay, last question here.
I love all the presentation and everything. I'm sorry. I like you use a lot of my model, business model. This business model is one of the most complex one I ever came across.
Is the most what?
Most complex. one.
Complex?
I
Okay.
can't even. You have to know how Khan Academy is working, how B&B is working. You have everything in this. It's so complex.
I know.
Number one is you have to make it extremely simple, and you have to start generating revenue. Investors will not touch you unless you have some revenue. You have to visualize exactly you are here and you are going to go to their destination. You have to know that in advance. And then you have to figure out the challenges you are coming across. I can see all sorts of challenges. Okay? English is my 7th language. If you add British, it's 8th language. Then I have to take German in this country. So I know how difficult it is. But I was very, very fortunate. Unilever and General Foods helped me out. Okay? So I want to spend separate time. I don't want to take that. You have unbelievable challenges before you go too far. Okay? Franchise means you have to have things ready so that they can just copy and go.
Exactly,
You are
and that's what
you
we
are still
need.
in a learning position. And in this country right now, nobody can guarantee you anything. All the visa and everything, they are deporting. Okay? No, so you have to know the uncertainty. That's my concern. But I want to help you out. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
So what can we, as the Orlando chapter of 1 Million Cups, do to help you today?
Yeah, well, it's about the bond that I asked, because
Okay.
we have that investor.
100,000
Yes.
available.
Okay.
And if you know someone in the, also anyone that it's in the, education or any of the other ones that wants to join us, and investors too. So we're open for that. That's
Okay.
what we're looking for.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You got the remote? Yeah, we'll take care of that after. All right, great. Okay, so now we don't have a second presenter. They had to reschedule. So we're going to do a member spotlight, which we haven't done in a while. And I'm going to have my friend Josh Pies come down here. Not to be confused with my favorite dessert as a kid, whoopie pies, right? You guys have had that?
Oh, I've had every possible last name joke you can imagine.
I know, you started it when you mentioned it up there.
I'll share some fun truth
Here,
that
have
my
a seat.
cousin Cherry, Cheri, has maintained her last name Pies because she's a PhD with a couple of books out there, and she didn't, after she got married, she didn't want to lose the name cachet. He'd like me to wear a microphone. I'm watching.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I'm watching the lapel pole over here. Tim, I speak your language, sir.
Yes, I know.
Here.
Set this here.
So perfect. So while you're miking up, tell us, Josh, about yourself, where you're from, and how'd you get started? What do you do?
Okay.
And how'd you get started?
Okay, so my name's Josh Pies. I'm originally from Rochester, New York. If you know that place right now, it's probably buried in snow. In a previous life, true story, anything in film, television, and entertainment was mostly a hobby. I was a child actor. But I actually own one of the largest snow plowing companies in New York State. And so when they get over 100 inches of snow there every year, that's truth. It's very cold, and I don't want to go back. So about 11 years ago, we moved to Florida. I had actually started my company, C47 Films. In 2009, we formalized it after we had a hobby video that we made go super viral. 100 million plus views. There was a business model that allowed us to monetize that. And actually, I was looking this year, it's the 15th anniversary of that film's release. This is a 5-minute video. It cost us $360 plus sweat equity. It has grossed $1.3 million since we released that. Yeah, pretty cool, right? So that was really what kicked the business off. And I've been in film, television, entertainment, and advertising ever since.
That's awesome. And he's got a really cool office, for sure.
Yeah, it's fun.
And so what would you say the core problem that you solve for your business today is?
Well, as we stand today, we are the second cup of coffee. So if you think about what 1 million cups, the spirit of 1 million cups is that we're supposed to all grab a cup of coffee with each other. And if we do enough of that entrepreneur to entrepreneur, magic will happen somewhere, somehow. We just trust that, hanging out with good people matters. And so that's what will happen. Well, that second cup of coffee can be way more purposeful. And I pick on places like our neighbor next to my office is Hillstone. If you've ever been to Hillstone, you're going to pay a rather high price for a salad or a steak there, and it's not that memorable. You'll probably forget that experience not long after. Another round of golf, probably healthy, but you're probably going to forget that too. Another cigar, great to have, but cigars kind of mashed together in comparison to doing a podcast together. So what we've pivoted to, thanks really to the pandemic, all of my clients, and we had a lot of marketing clients doing a lot of public-facing and internal communications, and they couldn't get together. So what do? You do it on Zoom. It was a quick solution. We got to do something. Well, that turned into realizing that we were basically video podcasting. We just hadn't placed formality around it, and that structure matters. So we worked very diligently in 21 and 22 to figure out what structure means for this. And so now we have a turnkey process that allows businesses, a lot of them are business to business, complicated intellectual things that are hard to talk about. They can do shows. And when you have your ideal referral partner or your ideal customer come on your show, what are you doing with them? This is a magical moment where you're saying your voice has value. I want my audience to hear you. I think you're interesting enough to invest time and money in, because it does have a cost. And once you release that content, and of course we release a feature show in video, a feature show in audio, and all the digital shorts that we could possibly pull out of that, you have a celebration of that moment that lasts for weeks and months. That's a lasting impression. That's a big second cup of coffee. So that's what we do, is we help people create really big second cups of coffee, and it checks all of the boxes of social media and all these other things that somebody told you should be doing. But what you should be doing first is quality business development. That second cup of coffee matters way more than anything else. That's what we deliver.
Exactly, and it's pretty impressive. That's why I say, if you're interested in that, you need to go see what they have set up.
We have cool spaces. Studio A has a pool table, a full bar, 3-camera setup that's always there. We can live stream, live switch everything. We've got really cool leather couches and a funky backdrop. And then the second Studio B, is, if you've ever seen my show, Bootstrapped Unicorns, that's the one I prefer filming in. That one has 4 cameras, teleprompter, multiple extra screens for presentations. You name it, we've probably got it in there.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. So you've been an entrepreneur most of your life, owning
Since 1984.
Okay, so what was it that got you involved in that instead of having to go punch a clock for somebody?
Well, one, I don't follow rules well. So I collaborate with people great. If I've got peers, I love hanging out with people and having big ideas. You tell me what to do, especially if you're wrong and you can't hear me tell you you're wrong, then we're not going to be friends very long, because I'm going to speak up. And so I'm a terrible employee, and I know that, but I'm a really great partner. So just personality-wise, I'm always going to be an entrepreneur. This is how I'm wired. True story, and now 1984, any guesses how old I am? Shout it out, I have thick skin. Wow, Nitin, you and I are gonna have a fight later. So I'm 45, so 1 million years. No, I'm 45, and so in 1984, I was a 4-year-old, and right, yeah, so the math is interesting, but true story, my grandfather, who's lead industrial engineer, top-level management at Kodak, I wanted to make a key rack for my mom for her birthday gift. She always lost her keys. So I did. I had my grandfather help me, and this is simple, guys. It's a wooden dowel. We got a 4-footer, had to cut it down to about 6 inches. You get those little gold eye hook things, put them on the ends, nice piece of leather over the top, now it can hang. Put 3 on the bottom, and now it hangs keys. Done. Simple tool, very easy to do. He taught me how to sand and stain and varnish, and it looked great. And he goes, well, we've got 3.5 feet left. That's a shame. What do we do about that? I said, I think we can make more. He goes, cool, let's do that. So my grandfather walked me through making more key racks. So now we have 5 more key racks. What do you do with 5 more key racks? Well, you give them as gifts to people. Well, I only knew a couple more people who needed them, so I had 2 left over. And he goes, well, that's a shame. I go, wow, I don't know what to do with it. And he goes, well, you could sell them. I go, who would I sell them to? And he goes, I think you need to go door to door. So my grandfather let me loose in his neighborhood, and I was knocking on doors, and I didn't get very many people to open the door because it was the wrong time of day. He goes, well, you probably should have advertised, and he just left it there. He just let it hang. This is my grandfather. He was really good at guiding. So I drew up crayons, pencils, I drew up advertisements, and I drew up like 5 of them. He goes, that's exhausting. You should probably mass manufacture those. So he took me to a copier, and we did 100 of them, and I went door to door, and he made me make a promise on there that I would come back. So they need to be looking for me. So I went back, and I sold out of my first 2 in the first 2 houses. And he goes, well, now you have seed money. I paid for all this other stuff. Pay me back. So I had to pay him back, but I had more money left over. So he goes, we should probably go buy more material and do this again. So, well, that was fun. Let's do it. So now we bought 2 4-footers and a whole bunch of, like, 100 pack of the eye cups and more leather straps, and we did a whole bunch more. And he sent me on the way again, and lo and behold, I started selling out of those 2. So by the time I was so this was mid-4s. By the time I was 5.5, I was $1,600 a year cash positive in key racks door to door in 1984. Thank you.
At 4 years old.
At 4 years old. My parents, who had some financial struggles their whole life, were borrowing from me. I had a little toy safe, and I had a ledger book. And they would actually borrow from me, and I'd keep tabs. And my grandfather taught me about interest. And so I was the family bank. Yeah, so that's how I started.
That's perfect. You answered a question I was going to ask you, so that's a great thing. So what is it today that gets you out of bed in the morning? What is it that drives you to do what you do?
Wow. So that's a big question. So for those of you who know me personally, you already know the answer to this, that, my wife and kids are everything. I'm very involved in my family. So I would imagine most of us have a similar drive that where they're, first tier, it's always, for your immediate loved ones. But when it comes to what we do in business, I'm a lifelong entrepreneur. And I've always drunk the Kool-Aid that small entrepreneurship in the United States really is the lifeblood of our economy. And most businesses classify as small business if you're looking at the Small Business Administration rules, because that's 499 employees and less is still a small business, which that's to me is insane. You're a medium business in my book the moment you hit like 15 employees. But if you're 1 to 15, that's a magical number because the majority of us are living in that zone. So if I can be a conduit to empower people to grow their really small businesses of 1 to 15 to more employees and more revenue, that's more families fed, that's more relationships fostered, that's more potential for all of us because a rising tide floats all boats. So you'll find that I'm a really big cheerleader. Every one of my clients is doing something that I believe in, so we're there supporting what they do, because if they succeed, we all succeed. So that's really what drives me.
That's great. That's really good to know. So talking about your 1 to 15 business, do you have like an ideal client or an ideal business that you like to work with or go after?
Well, we got to get paid. So, startups are usually pretty darn hard. I love startups, actually. My MBA is in technology entrepreneurship, so startup crowd is like super cool to me. But that's my geek side where I geek out on startups. But I think the reality is if there is somebody who is charged with wearing the hat of director of marketing and actually has a budget, in that small crowd, it's usually a massive pain point. There's too much for that one person to handle. And so we're a great outsource because there's temptation, right? You could go find a virtual assistant. Now you got to manage the virtual assistant on doing all of these things. You got an extra room, it's a closet. Are we going to buy equipment and learn how to do all of this stuff to accomplish our social media and that YouTube channel and the podcast? You really could. It's exhausting and it's expensive and frequently learned the hard way. So for me, a small business that has somebody wearing that hat attached to a budget finds freedom with us because we check a whole bunch of labor boxes, a whole bunch of equipment boxes, and a whole bunch of talent boxes that they cannot afford to check. And they know it inside, but they feel like they're obligated to try to do it themselves. And so we fix that for them because they suddenly realize doing it themselves is actually going to cause much larger problems than the results that they'll get. And we can solve all that. So it's the person there with a budget and the headache.
Perfect. So that touches on something I mentioned earlier too, is that we all as small business owners and entrepreneurs have the same problems. And you just heard a great description of what that is. So if you can find somebody that you can partner with that can help take a load off you as the entrepreneur, right? Because as my dad said, we're always the chief pot scrubber and bottle washer, right? You do everything as an entrepreneur.
For clarity, I've
so-
had a couple of businesses recently fire us, and I laugh about it because it's not they're not firing us; they're graduating. They were small businesses that grew in a way that they could finally bring what we're doing for them in house. So we did a 6-month transition period to let them grow into their new shoes. You know, when you're a $1 million company outsourcing to us, but that calendar year you're suddenly a $3.5 million company, you're making different decisions.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's actually happened 3 times this year where we've helped people grow.
That's awesome. That's great. So last question. If you could go back in time today with what you've learned and talk to your younger self, is there anything that you would tell yourself to do differently?
How much time do you got? You know, the trial and error in entrepreneurship is real. And I have more failure moments that are learning moments than I have wins, because that's growth, that's life.
Absolutely.
You can find the full story on my podcast and somewhere in the first 4 episodes if you're really interested. But I will tell everybody the hard truth because I'm that weird open book. I would tell myself not to hire my dad. Honestly, I think I've told you that story.
You have.
So I hired somebody who had a checkered past, but he was family. So let this be a lesson for everybody. Family isn't always a fit, right? Family is, I love my family. I love all of my family, but they don't all have the skills. They also don't all have the ethics and morals that I might insist on in my business. But if I cave because they're family, I'm now exposed. And I've had this happen twice, but one of them most notably was a family member, my own father, who is a federal felon, who is unemployable. But he could never hurt his own kid, right? He could. So, learn the hard way, massive lessons. And the lesson for all of us is we have people we love and trust in our lives in certain ways, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily transportable to the role that you're considering giving them. And so it is just business. And people, it's not personal, it's just business. That's right. It is not personal. It's not a judgment about who they are in their position in a family way, but it is about you surviving and growing in business, and they should support that. If they don't, they just don't get it. Yeah. Right? So I would tell myself, don't hire them, and be wary of the trap of believing that family fixes the employment problem.
Yeah, exactly. So, good thing to know. Well, thank you, Josh, for your time.
Yep.
So, yeah, I do encourage you to go take a trip and find out the rest of the story. These are some of our sponsors here that come in, help, and make what we do possible. We've got John Swanson's in the house today. Angela's out. Rupert's here. Peter's not here. Donut Central, Murray is generous enough to go pick that up for us, and they donate that every week to us, which is great. And then, of course, Tech Hub Orlando, where we are. The unique thing about 1 Million Cups, any Wednesday at 9 o'clock in any time zone at that 9 o'clock, you'll find a 1 Million Cups somewhere. There's 130 some odd chapters now across the country. So it's a great way to get, go visit a 1 Million Cup. Rupert just did that, right, in Detroit? Had a great time. And like, follow, and share on the social media. If you take pictures when you're here, which would be great, just take pictures and share them out there. Let people know about us, so we can continue to grow. This is a special announcement. Jane had to leave, but on the first of the year, she's doing a special entrepreneur toolkit, and it's an online 12-to-1 for 4 weeks. And it'll give you stuff like this on information and things that you can use for events over at the library, okay? But you can do it from the safety and comfort of your own home. We also have the Orlandopreneur coming up on Monday at 5:30, just right across the street here on Church Street, actually this way, on Church Street at Regis, which is through the tunnel and just to the right. So it's right there. Yeah, go ahead.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. And who's been to an Orlandopreneur event? All right. So this event is a special holiday version We've invited, our primary sponsor is Startup Factory Hub, which is an aerospace and deep tech accelerator. And they have partnerships with 7 different space agencies, including NASA, UK, and Japan, and so forth. And so they're going to come in and speak a little bit about what they do and so forth. So one of the things that has made us so successful, our 5-year goal is to do 5,000 members in our group, and we're 5 away from 4,700 in less than 3 years. And so I have a QR code if anybody wants to help me get to 4,700, right? And, but in any case, our make an impact rating is almost 12 times the median for meetup.com. So, you know, we'd love to see you. It's a free event, and on Monday night, we already checked. There's no other events going on downtown, so traffic will be normal, parking will be plenty, and again, it's just right down the street over here in the Church Street Exchange. So we'd love to see you, and I trust that you will, I guarantee that you will find somebody that will help make your life better if you come to our events. So I hope to see you all there. Thank you.
Yep, and Orlandopreneur or any networking event like that, I highly encourage you, when you go in with a mission. You know, so many people go in, they've got their cards, and they're like, here, this is who I am, this is who I am, right? It doesn't do you any good, because most of those cards are going to end up in the trash. Your goal should be to collect cards. I go in with a mission of trying to meet 3 to 5 significant people that I want to have a conversation with. And that's what we do. So know what you're looking for, go in and meet somebody and enjoy it. It's one of the best networking events that I go to every month, and I look forward to it. It really is. It's been a lot of fun. All right, so go in and make sure, collect cards and make sure that you follow back up again with them. And don't overlook the benefit of strategic partnerships and strategic alliances. So many people don't look at that. They look at it as, well, I want to go sell you something. I want to sell you something. I want to sell you something. And they think they're a failure. And since they haven't gone through something like this and they don't understand, hey, failure is an option, and failure is how you learn. Okay? So we're trying to help you shortcut some of the failures. So for our holiday schedule next week, we have 1 speaker coming in, and then we have, we're going to have a social time. So we're going to extend our social a little bit. If you have any like special holiday cookies, treats, something you'd like to bring in and share, bring in some. That's fine, okay? I know Bernd's making us some awesome German something or other. He did it before, which is amazing. So yeah, bring in some stuff and share. We'll have an extra table set up, and it'll be a great time to get to know somebody. And so we have 1 speaker that'll be all set up for that. No meeting on the 24th because of Christmas. On the 31st, we have 2 speakers scheduled. Lynn back here has got a really cool app that she is launching, which we went through it last week. It is amazing what this thing does. And then Peter, I mentioned, with Salai Coffee in Eugene, are doing something a little bit unique on coffee education for us. So that'll be kind of fun. And then we're still looking for a couple speakers on January 7th to kick off the year. And I just mentioned that. Connect with us, find a local coffee shop. So do what we need to do is go out and meet with others. So why do you come here? To attend, apply, prepare, and present. So from being here, that's the first step. Come 2, 3, 4 times. Get to know some people. Get comfortable. See how the system works. To apply, you're just going to go to, I got to put the thing back on there, 1 Million Cups Orlando, number 1millioncups.com/Orlando. You'll see up on the menu a little thing that says apply. Click there, fill out an application. Somebody will go through it, and then we'll let you know if you meet the criteria that we need. And then you have an opportunity to come up like these 2 just did and be able to share. Was this beneficial for you? Absolutely. All right. Did you learn anything new that could help you? Absolutely. Okay, great. That's the value of being here. So why? Because you want a marketing and brand awareness. It lets people know who you are and what you do. Practice and feedback, which is what we all need. create strategic partnerships, hiring and retaining talent, and get to know everybody and get to know you experience, which is great. So our 1 Million Cups Organizing Committee, if you're part of the committee, raise your hand. So if you have any questions about preparing or joining, please come see one of us. We'll be happy to help you with that. And thank you. And then this is our quote and closing thought for the week. So think about this from Mr. Jim Rohn. And if you need somebody to listen to for great personal development stuff, I highly encourage you, go on to YouTube and find talks from Mr. Rohn. He is by far and away the best at being able to take complex things and make it into the most easiest to break down and understand, that you sit there and you go, oh my gosh, I never thought of that before. He's just absolutely amazing. So with that, have yourselves a great week.